And I'm back with more Dragon Quest VII. I'm here in the Highendreigh Tower. And I'm going places. So, I think the only place I haven't done is the lower room. Damn it! Oh, that sucks. Okay. Rawr. Okay. Because it's a dungeon, and because I don't have much to talk about, I thought of something to talk about just now! So it's dungeon rant time! Oh goody! Well, I'll get to it in a second, I suppose. Never mind then. I was going to rant, and then I decided not to. I was going to talk about kind of characters in Dragon Quest, and then at least how they stack up to, like, how these characters stack up, I suppose. Please don't hurt me. I'm not doing anything bad. I used to live at the top of the tower, but lots of goomans moved in. So I ran away and hid in here. What's that? You want to know what the goomans are doing here? I don't know. I suppose you could ask them yourself. They're on the 3rd level, locked away by a great big door. I wonder if they're with the old man who used to come here all by himself. But yeah, talk about characters. And I've been over Kiefer, so I might not want to talk about him too much. But I still do need to kind of talk about him in the scope of the game, if nothing else. So, again, characters in Dragon Quest are weird because, like, most of the time they've been good, but they've been kind of stock characters, but it's never really been a problem. Oh, whoops. Oh, these guys are gonna turn into a king slime. Not if I kill him first. Oh, God. Well... Ah! Well, that happens, I guess. Hello. But yeah, character-wise, I would say this is one of the weaker games. I mean, I don't hate them or anything, but I do find there is... You know, there are some games that are better than others. Obviously, like, the first couple of games, you didn't really have characters. You had stock still... you had stock, you know, stock characters, like, Dragon Quest III. And I imagine the first couple of games were the same way. Yay!
I feel good.
Cool. So... there is a benefit to later games having good characters and things, which mainly started in 4. I wish 4, 5, and 6 weren't just on, like, the DS, you know? So that, like, I imagine we're gonna get them at some point. But, you know, they're always going to re-release Dragon Quest games on different platforms. It's nice. But, you know, Dragon Quest IV, it was mainly about different characters doing different things. Oh, there we go. Hey, lots of humans. It was like they were interesting, I suppose, but outside of like Tornico and maybe Maya and Mina, I don't think anybody in 4 were like amazing, but they existed. They, you know, and I'm talking speaking roles, because I'm talking speaking roles because I'm not considering main characters here. I do want to talk about main characters eventually, but I mean, you could only do so much with the characters that were available in 4, but being able to do stuff like own your own shop and then go on an adventure and then do other things, you know, it was a nice change of pace, if nothing else. I saw old man Riffa going up these stairs. Do you want to go and talk to him? Right, I'll open the door for you. So, I mean, as a start, I thought it was interesting because each character did have different, like, jobs and cool things you could do. But that's what it is. It was a start. It wasn't, oh my god, I got to really go nuts for this character. 5, though. 5, though, is where I would say really kind of hit good. Yeah, 5 hit really good, though, because
my gratitude.
There was a lot more going on with the tone of the game. And because 5 had the marriage concept, there was a lot more you could do with it.
Brace yourself.
So the marriage concept really held the characters together and held the story along. That's what made it important and impressive. Because you have to kind of weigh, okay, the main character is not really a character, obviously. But his or her father, I'm going to say his because the marriage was with females, and we didn't have same-sex marriages at the time. Anyway, you had kind of the 3 main leads, which were Bianca, oh my god, why am I blanking on the other, is it Nera? Yeah, I think Nera and Deborah. I'm thinking of Deborah because that's who I always went with in the remake, and she's like awesome. But like Nera was your typical like well-off, nice girl, but there's nothing to her. But it felt weird because it's like she was a trophy wife, like literally a trophy wife, and it felt bad because I know in the remake they at least try to give her some intrigue, but she did come off as a trophy wife because that's what she was. Like, you do a favor for the dude, and he's like, well, take my daughter's hand in marriage, even though there's a guy who likes her already and wants to marry her and shit. So the main character comes in and is like, well, I can marry you, I guess. It'll be fine. And then there's Bianca, who, like, you know from one thing, early in the game, and she constantly brings it up, right? Which is fine, I suppose. And she likes you, but it's also like, I don't know if I know enough about you to like spend my life with you either. But at least she has some gumption as a character goes. So at least she has something, and she did like you. Even if it was for all of one mission, right? But I think anybody, anybody who knows anything about at least the remake version, went with Deborah, right? You went with Deborah, who was Nera's sister. She just waltzes in, makes a big show of herself, basically becomes an entire tsundere, and is like, I'm gonna steal the show, even though I have no character of my own. Because they rewrote me to have a character, and then if you choose her as your wife, she suddenly becomes really freaking awesome as the game progresses. And like in terms of, and I spoke about this in a recent podcast, was chemistry, having chemistry with characters, and I do think like even with a silent protagonist, you still have to have chemistry with characters. And Deborah always struck me as somebody... Oh boy, oomph, the person who's gonna die soon. Ow! Rude.
Here I come.
Because you have to work under... You don't have a lot of real estate for every single character. Ow! Suck! But you need enough, right? And I think Deborah of the three options was the absolute best. She had the most ingrained personality. She had the most actual, I would say, love for the main character other than Bianca did. And there's just the idea that she doesn't give a fuck. I'm gonna kick these monsters' asses because I can, because fuck you. I just thought that was the best fucking thing. And yeah, even if it was still early on in the Dragon Quest era, you still had a good character roster. It wasn't amazing, but again, you had Deborah, who is still up there. Channel anger. Ooh, nasty. What's this do? Greatly increases the damage done to... Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Good. Stop being empty, damn it. And then you get to 6. I don't honestly remember 6 all that much, which kind of sucks, you know? Because of the 3 games in the DS versions, they were the ones I remember the absolute least about, so... Apologies if there's like some amazing thing I'm supposed to remember about 6, but if I would remember them, I would. So I guess that says much I need to know about 6. Now, if eventually they remake it, you know, I'll change my mind. But again, it says a lot that I'm not remembering a damn thing. So we'll get to 7, and that's what we're playing right now. So yeah, 7. It's a mixed bag. Ow! It's a mixed bag because I want to like this game's character setup. Because this and 8 focus on a lot of less quantity. Like 11 is the one with the most quantity of characters. But all told, it's kind of a weak lineup, and it really does come down to whether you like Kiefer or Maribel. Like, when your best character is Aisha and Ruff, and maybe Mervyn, it's kind of sad. We haven't met Mervyn yet, but suffice it to say, he's awesome, but only in a certain way. I'm gonna kill you. And it's gonna suck. But I made my thoughts on Kiefer pretty much well established in the Romer encampment thing. His laissez-faire attitude. Oh, that's what I remember. The love at first sight thing. I was trying to talk about the character chemistry and dating in a podcast I did yesterday about anime, like Ramparts of Ice and whatnot, and Marriage Toxin. And I'm like, well, love at first sight's dumb, and don't do that. I was specifically referencing this game. Because yes, even if Aisha is the reason it happened, you're still like you're not doing a good job of explaining why. Like, I get that Kiefer and Aisha, the Wonderbound, the Wanderlust, all that stuff. Wanderlust is a thing. I'm not saying it isn't. What I'm saying is I don't buy it in this game because of the way each dungeon and area is designed. Kiefer and Aisha and Ruff kind of need more than what they were given as reasons to, oh, hey, we're gonna totally fall for you, and like, no, we're gonna not, maybe? We're gonna not? Let's not, like, dump our entire, like, cushy gig as a prince for this lady that we know nothing about just because we sort of like the way she looks? Like, does that not seem awkward to anybody else? Is it, I mean, maybe it's just me. So, I made my thoughts on Kiefer, and by reference, Aisha known. Though to a lesser extent, at least her Wanderlust is meant in a good place. Like, she's doing it to save the world, because she knows that she needs to save the world by going on this journey first. She's not saving the world just to get away from being a prince, you know. She's saving the world to save the world. So at least in that sense, she has a reason for being. Ruff. There's only so much you could do with that sort of character. It's a unique concept. You know, making him a human who can speak, but he's actually a wolf. You know, it's a cool way to do a mascot character. So I give him points for that. Man, these guys survive way too long, and it sucks. But outside of his mission, I don't know what else he's going to offer, because what he offers as a character is, I'm Wolf Boy, this world is interesting, and it's cool. And that's fine, but that's all it is. Like, all of these characters are fine, if a little frustrating.
Knew I had it in me.
And Maribel, well, I've talked a bunch about how they're trying to make her sympathetic, and they're not. Like, I don't give a fuck about Maribel at all. She's a fucking pompous bitch. And on the rare occasions where she's not, like, my god. Could you go 5 minutes without being a pompous little shit? And yeah, she's gonna have a segment. But it's gonna be like, no. It just feels weird. It's nearly time. Oh, are we done here? Oh. So, I was going to talk about the rest of them, but it really is like 8 and 11. 8 and 11 honestly have the best character setups of any Dragon Quest game. So, it's pretty obvious that it does. And I might have more time to talk about them at length, but yeah, like between Yangus, Jessica, Angelo to a certain extent, but I'd say Jessica more so. But Angelo does have his moments. Like, all of them, even Yangus, are important. Like, the side characters are good. And 11 has Sylvando. You know, freaking Sylvando in it. Like, my god, dude. Any game with Sylvando in it basically has told you, we've got this covered. So, like, I've said stuff about Veronica and Serena, you know, they're fine. But having a game with, like, Jade and Sylvando in it pretty much wins you by default. So, like, in terms of, hey, we've gone from silent protagonists with no motivation and whatever to they're okay. I mean, not amazing, you know. And I think what really sucks about this game is the setup. Like, I think you could do a lot more with these characters if you had more of a sustained linear narrative situation, but because it's not designed that way, it's a lot like 4, where you're just like, oh, we're bouncing around from this person to this person to this person. It's not central to one set of characters. That's why 8 and 11 really stand up, is because they are. So, I mean, 7 is okay, but that's about, and to be fair, gameplay-wise, like, 7 is okay, you know, from what I'm playing. But hey, let's talk to a character that actually does have motivation. Huh? You seem
familiar. Have we met before? Yes, we must have. I brought all the people on this continent into the tower. We must have met somewhere. Please, believe me when I say that I feel guilty for forcing you all to come here, for abducting you as I did. But there was no time to explain. Nor is there now. It begins.
Uh-oh.
Behold what unfolds beneath.
Weak, pathetic humans, kneel before my might. Cower before my maelstrom.
Uh-oh. Ugh.
Do you see? The land swallowed by the ocean, your villages and towns all submerged. I am not merely a Torban player. I also have the gift of foresight. The future reveals itself to me. I made a vow long ago to aid those who suffer at the hands of monsters. To only use my gifts for the benefit of others. You may be certain that monsters are the cause of this catastrophe. I brought you and your countrymen here to keep you free from harm.
What in the world is going on? What's all this rumbling and shaking? Huh? What the sea, it... No!
Is that? God, blimey!
So they did it before Yangus did it. Understood.
It is. It's the top of the lookout tower down in Wetlock, which means the old town must be underwater. You ain't gonna get away with this, you horrible old villain! I'm gonna tear your bloomin'...
No, this is not the work of the troubadour. It is the work of Grakos. I'm sure of it.
Well, you have a fucking voice on
Our
you.
continent, what he did to that other island so long ago.
The waters are rising faster than I foresaw. If they are not stopped, they will reach the tower and submerge it.
That guy had phone book voice,
Flood
didn't he?
must be cut off at its source, but I am too old to be fighting monsters.
Yeah.
Heavens above! I just remembered something terrible.
That you're a guard and you're not in the party.
Just before the towns below were submerged, some of the men headed down into the lower levels. They said they were going back home. I tried to stop them, to tell them it was too dangerous. They simply wouldn't listen.
Fools! But how could they have reached the lower levels? The door was locked.
Yes, it was. And then, it wasn't.
May the heavens have mercy on them. It pains me to say it, but if they were on the lower levels when the waters began to rise, there is little we can do but pray. Ah, if only I were a little stronger.
Gee, I wonder what we're gonna do about that. Ow.
Wait.
Huh? Ah.
Many years ago, I was a member of a tribe called the Roamers. Our purpose was to seek out and restore the Almighty. My role was to play the Torben during the Restoration. Alas, I was selfish and greedy. I broke the laws of the tribe and had no choice but to leave. I have been trying to atone for my sins ever since. This is why I vow to help any who suffer at the hands of monsters. Alas, the beast behind this incident is even more powerful than I had feared. I had thought somehow I might prevail, though I have no idea how. I am too old and frail to face any monster now. Which brings me to the favor. I would ask that you fulfill my vow in my place.
Sure.
You had thought to go and face the evil force behind this anyway, had you not?
Yeah, you can't stop me.
Yes, I thought as much. You know, you remind me of some people I once met. Selfless souls who came to my tribe's aid and asked for nothing in return. It was a long time ago. I do not quite recall those brave souls' faces, but I will never forget that strength of will, the fire in those eyes.
Florin, is that you?
You have that same fire. And that is why I am making this request of you. So, will you do it? Will you help me to fulfill my vow? Very well. Then I will do all I can to help you in return. There is a raft at the bottom of the tower. I thought it might prove useful. Please, it is yours. You should take this with you also.
Yeah, I guess.
This ring. You might call it my lucky charm. It has proven its value many times over. If you are to aid me in fulfilling my vow, it is only right that you have it.
Alright. Well, let's go. In the next episode. Anyway. But yes. This game is fine. Right? And I hope people understand that. Like, I don't hate this game because it's Dragon Quest. At worst, it's gonna be B-. Still good, but just kind of there. But the characters are a mixed bag. So, hooray! I did get to finish talking about them. But I will worry about the rest of this dungeon and the side quests inside it. Well, wait, side quests in this game? There aren't any. Except for the gray pedestals. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to leave.